All right, Janice. So you know, this will be on a separate video when you look at it. The beginning of the speech is a little problematic because you're asking the audience to participate, and sometimes they help you, sometimes they don't. It seemed a little bit more distracting here. I like your Wikipedia definition of a fob or a dictionary definition, of a fob at the beginning of the speech better as your attention device. Your goal is pretty clear. The preview, you signpost the first point, but I didn't really hear much layout of what the rest of the speech was going to be about. So that was a bit of an issue. You have some good personal experiences that you're telling us, which I think is interesting, and which you ought to be able to speak about pretty naturally. I thought it was a little strange that you sometimes had to look at your notes to remind you about what you were going to say about your own story. And that is one of those things that becomes awkward because you do have the notes in your hands and you tend to grip them with both hands while you're speaking a lot of the time. So it becomes obvious that you've got that, and you never seem to just relax and talk to the audience. This is a subject that's got some humorous components to it. You've got some funny experiences, but you are talking about it way too somberly, and I think that if you're going to go at it with that approach, you need a little bit more research in it rather than just the personal experience. I think if you're going to use the personal experience, you can talk about how this guy had certainly delusional images of what was going to go on in your relationship and make some joke about his expectation about what the food would be like that you'd be cooking or how quickly he wanted to get married. I can imagine how relieved your father was that this guy was soon out of the picture. You know, you can tell the story in a way that makes it a little more interesting, like you were kidding around with your friends about this experience that you had and how strange it was and how odd and interesting and different the expectations were. As it was, it felt like you felt like you were in front of people, and you're noticing that the whole time and thinking about having to give the speech instead of just talking to us. And some things were fine. I thought you had pretty good eye contact. Your facial expressions are animated, but they could be a little bit more animated. This is one of those things where I'm saying if you relaxed more, I think you'd get more out of the experience. You got to be careful about making a big generalization about the fobs unless you're going to go for the humorous effect. If you're doing that, then you can get away with that. Otherwise, I think you need to back it up with a little bit more. All right, thank you.